Già. Sempre fatti bene i giochi, eh. Ha ripreso dal timer di prima, io ora non so se l'ho riaperto abbastanza velocemente oppure no. No, no. Speriamo che stavolta non crash. Da dove riprende? Mi avrà saltato dialoghi, mi avrà saltato... Ok, no, da qui. Adesso, a parte il mio leggerissimo problema con il vestito, che speriamo si risolva prima o poi, ora posso chiamare senza che crashi?
Smirnoff.
You're gonna like what I have to tell you about the Dunn case. Dunn and the gym's cleaning lady were about to get
Già che non
married.
si possono saltare i dialoghi.
Call what's news. They'll know what to do with such an incredibly interesting piece of information.
The combination on Dunn's safe was her birthday. He even gave her a ring. You know, your typical suicidal bliss.
Okay, I'm still not convinced, but I might have something for you.
Ecco che crashiamo, guarda te. Ok. Che palle, sti bug, sti crash, sti frame rate.
Life is off and off key, like a bad song. The notes come together but feel flat, unable to create anything resembling music.
Oh, il commissario.
And yet, there are ways to string them together to create harmony. Ways that are not always entirely in our hands.
You look tired, John.
I was born tired. I'm used to it.
You're not the only one. Yep, I'm beat. I'm starving. Just got back from the annual police medical. Not only did I have to fast, but I also had to chug 2 enormous glasses of water. John, you all right?
I'm always all right.
Yep, that's the problem with us men. The thing is, I'd love to help you out with this case, but I can't. You know I work for the state of New York. If I had any information, I couldn't share it with a private eye. Even if it was lying on top of this table.
You said you were starving. Why don't you go to the counter and order something?
Hmm? Yeah, sure, good idea. If you'll excuse me.
Che stronzi. Specie di... qua devo... le specie mettono i nomi degli animali.
Interesting.
Immagino come i cosi. Quelli per il petto.
Now that I think of it, I better eat at home. It's healthier.
Thanks.
Truth is, John, it all seemed clear to me before, but now? Please, promise me you won't take the law into your own hands. I'd like to think we're not just vigilantes.
Sure, you can trust me. I give you my word.
All right. In any case, keep me posted, will you?
Mi piace il classico...
You can
Non
count on it.
posso dirgli certe
Take care,
cose.
John.
Quindi vado un
As
attimino lì a
always,
fare una
Smirnov
cosa.
had given me new, potentially relevant information. Not to mention second thoughts. When an old dog like him gets that serious, one must be prepared to bite.
Ha paura. Forse. Vediamo che deduzioni possiamo fare. No, ho capito, c'è qualcosa che non torna nel suicidio. So scemo. Perché non può averlo fatto. Però questo avevo già capito di mio. Non ci voleva un genio per capirla questa cosa, eh.
I'm much taller than Dunn, and I can barely reach the noose. There's no way Dunn hanged himself. Not on his own, at least.
E questa è una cosa molto stupida da parte dell'assassino per quanto mi riguarda. No, ho sbagliato, porca puttana. Finalmente siamo riusciti a mettere tutto assieme.
Dunn must have punched the can while he was arguing with Yale. I guess that explains why he threatened to call the fight off.
Però non hai detto che è stato
Bobby
lui,
Yale.
anche se è conveniente
I
che
don't
sia
know if you had a
scomparso.
motive to kill Dunn, but you certainly had the murder weapon.
Mm. Movente.
Christ. Did Yale kill Dunn just because he wanted to call off the fight?
Mi sembra un po' troppo. Secondo me non è come è andata, però.
I always knew Bobby had issues. But I never thought he'd go that far.
A part of me thinks Bobby Yale didn't do it.
But the chest expander, the box in his locker, the marks on my father's neck. It all leads to him.
Dai uno schiaffo sul culo, Alex.
In any case, that doesn't change a thing.
It does, actually. Now we know he didn't kill himself.
My father's still dead, and you still haven't found Bobby Yale. Nothing has changed. Opening the safe and finding my father's will won't help us achieve anything. So please hurry. Time's wasting.
Vabbè, ma intanto stiamo scoprendo pian piano il tutto, stai calmo.
Sonia's indifference never ceased to amaze me. But most importantly, why was she so opposed to Yale?
Beh, perché era il figlio di Dan, si è sentita
John Blacksad? I think I owe you an apology.
sostituita. Che bravo uomo.
Apology accepted. But what exactly are you apologizing for?
Listen, I don't think my fellow workers treated you with the respect you deserve. I'm so sorry they wrinkled your suit. The thing is, they didn't know we shared a common goal. Bobby Yale. I want to find him and get to the bottom of this as much as you do, Mr. Blacksad. So please, kindly accept my invitation. Why not share our findings? Come on.
Devo.
Of course. You don't mind me riding in this fancy car with a wrinkled suit, do you?
Oh, I think you look mighty dapper, Mr. Blacksad. Although, if those wrinkles were to rub off on me... I always play it nice and safe.
Sempre figo. Di tua volontà. E beh, se non mi obbligavano, non è che evitiamo casini. Se me lo posso fare amico per ora, facciamocelo amico.
Thank you, Blacksad. You won't regret this. So let's cut to the chase. I need Bobby Yale to fight Stone. There's just too much money at stake. So, I'm offering you my help to find Yale. Let's work together.
What kind of help do you need?
A simple exchange of information. You're a good detective, and I, well, let's just say I have my own ways of making people talk.
All right, then. Let's work together.
I thought you'd be hard to convince, that you'd appeal to the moral high ground or something. Please, hear me out.
High ground.
Let's say I bet a beer that we find Yale in 3 days, and you bet a beer that we don't. In 3 days, one of us has to buy the other a beer. Is that so bad? We're simply 2 grown men using our money and free will to conduct a small private exchange. And most importantly, we're not hurting anyone. So, yeah, I run a gambling business. What's so bad about that?
It's illegal for starters.
Illegal? Let me tell you what should be illegal. The way our government is ruining America. We live in a so-called free country, a place where honest people can make a living, provided they don't hurt anybody. We're not communists. Well, at least I'm not.
I would have never thought otherwise. As for me,
Io sono d'accordo però con questa cosa.
I'm not either.
Ha! Well then, you see, we're all among friends. In any case, that's not my point. The government betrays our nation's values by passing communist laws that forbid an honest man like me to make a living without hurting a soul. And that, Mr. Blacksad, is just wrong. I'd even say it's unconstitutional. Do you get my point now?
All right. I get your point.
Ha! I knew you would. When the government passes these laws, there's only one legitimate weapon the people can wield. The same weapon that turned America into a great nation. Civil disobedience. So, as the proud American that I am, it's my duty to disobey.
You might have a point. In certain cases, civil disobedience is both right and duty.
Exactly. And when you hear just how I've transformed this business, you'll agree even more. I wasn't always a boss, you know. No, sir. I started at the bottom, when Lucky Blitzen ran the show. That good for nothing. His was a reign of terror, extortion, violence, you know, that sort of unpleasant thing. When I took over, I decided I'd make people want to do my bidding. Not out of fear, but out of
Non è un
gratitude.
cazzo, però.
I decided to help people so they would help me.
That beating your thugs gave me was really helpful. Thank you so much.
Those poor bastards didn't even know you were a detective, that you were on our side.
Maybe at first. But when they tied me up and beat the socks off me, they knew very well who I was.
Seriously? That goes against my rules. Who was it?
Yeah, the 2 of them.
Bastards. But don't you worry. I'll have a talk with those 2. I cannot tolerate this behavior. Please accept my apologies, Mr. Blacksad. As I said before, I like to help people so I can count on their gratitude. That applies to fellow partners, like police, or, in this case, a detective. I won't deny this business has its fair amount of violence, extortion, and casualties, but I'd rather leave that to my enemies. And you are not my enemy. And, it looks like we're here.
Non mi dispiace il ragazzo. So che mi dovrebbe stare sul cazzo, però ha la parlantina giusta, l'amicone qui. Poi, oh, se io riesco a risolvere il caso, mettere in gattabuia chi deve essere messo in gattabuia, e il gioco pensa che io sia stato cattivo, che io sia stato
Yale's
immorale.
apartment?
I told you I'm on your side. Go ahead, search the place. I'll wait down here. When you're done, you can honor our arrangement and share your findings with me. Or not. It's your call, Mr. Blacksad. I'll make sure you're suitably compensated. Colbert! Wilson!
Mi sa che gli fate 4 chiacchiere adesso. Io mi sa che appena c'è un momento di pausa, però voglio vedere quanti trofei ci sono. Voglio spaventarmi. Vediamo. Non ce ne sono così tanti, però. Allora.
The worst thing about O'Leary's boys dropping by isn't the beating, but the fact that I can't tell what's theirs and what's Yale's. Can't say this is the ideal drink for an athlete. Then again, it could be your classic bookie thug lunch.
No. E allora sei stronzo.
Bobby seems like a nice kid, but I barely know him.
Ugh. 17th century French fables. There must be one boring old lady.
Che fossero davvero amanti? Che sia uno dei motivi dell'omicidio? Cioè non l'avrei restituita per esempio la fede se lo amavo.
Judging by the general state of the apartment, they were leading a quiet life.
Oh oh oh. La sciarpa. L'ha lasciata.
I'm not sure how Yale's love of pickles will help me crack the case, but it's good to know.
Cazzo. Erano davvero amanti.
A woman's fragrance. Almost angelical. That means she's been here recently. But why? What does Sweet Mary have to do with Yale, the murder suspect? Why would you want such a big closet for so few clothes? Unless someone emptied it recently.
Posso uscire dalla finestra?
Nice chain.
Cioè, mi ritrova perché mi ritrova, è ovvio però.
So, you like your mob stories, don't you, Bobby? Seems like Bobby inherited something more than boxing skills from his father, besides the tendency to vanish into thin air, of course. Copy 1 of 3. Do you know any of his relatives?
His father, Avenarius.
Avenarius? The boxer poet? Didn't he disappear 20 years ago? With people like O'Leary, you just never know. I didn't want to put Mary at risk. Why not take her a little something instead?
Stealth. Vado a vedere se il signor Blacksad dopo 3 ore ha finito di indagare. Non c'è. Blacksad! Già me lo vedo.
I've never trusted angels.
Mr. Blacksad? What a...
Surprise?
Surprise!
When they fall, they turn into demons.
Joey told me he was going to spend the afternoon painting the gym and that Bobby would be fixing something up on the roof. So, after I found the body and called the police, I went to Bobby's place, but he wasn't there.
How did you open the door to his apartment?
I think it was already open. Everything is so confusing. I'm sorry, Mr. Blacksad.
Don't be. I'm here to figure it all out.
Con quella faccina da gatto.
What's your relationship with Bobby Yale?
He was like a son to Joey, and we were about to get married, so, you know.
Okay, I think it's time to set things straight. I know you were cheating on Dunn with Yale. Or was it the other way around?
No! How can you even think of something like that?
How can you convince me otherwise? I found a picture at Yale's apartment. It's you and him on a roller coaster. Care to explain, Miss Purnell?
I'm not white, Mr. Blacksad.
What?
7 of my great-grandparents were white. The 8th was black. According to law, I'm a black citizen, even if my skin says the contrary. Do you know what that means when you're born in North Arlington, Alabama?
Segregated housing, with far worse homes for colored people.
We even have different water fountains, for God's sake. The separate but equal doctrine and all that.
That crap.
And all the lies. That's why I moved here. No one knows what color my great-grandparents were.
I completely understand you, Mary.
Just think if you were also a woman. He's my nephew, Mr. Blacksad. Joe and I first started taking care of poor Bobby when my sister died. That was when he was almost 15. The three of us went on that trip to Luna Park.
So this is where Joe Dunn comes in.
Bobby was the only one who knew about me and Joey. We were afraid that someone would use my past to ruin his career.
It's not the first time I hear that story. I'm sorry I accused you so lightly.
Don't worry, I understand.
TV and radio all in one. Where will these mad times
Non
lead us?
c'entra un cazzo con le indagini, però.
Mary smells like... Actually, the whole room smells like a pie fresh out of the oven. So I can't identify any other fragrances.
C'è un'altra cosa di olfatto, ma non trovo.
Fresh out of the oven. The whole room
Ah, è il
smells like
profumo.
pie.
Ok.
That cherry pie smells so good. I'm starting to get hungry.
Thanks. I pulled it out of the oven right before you arrived. Oh, where are my manners? I'm the worst hostess in the world. Let me go get a knife from the kitchen. And you must be thirsty. Let me see. OJ, coffee?
Acqua.
Water's good, thanks. She's wearing the same clothes in both pictures, so she's probably telling the truth.
Posso andarmene? Ma io non voglio andarmene.
Sorry, I was going to help you with that.
Era avvelenata la torta. Sì, ma me la mangio tutta io. Sì. Cos'è questa scena? Ah, adesso non ho più... È perché adesso così non ho più problema di odore?
Now that there's almost no pie left, the scent has also disappeared. Interesting. Now Mary smells like a huge dog.
Ah,
Mary, when are you going to stop lying? I know your nephew's here. I can smell him.
What? No. I already told you I don't know where he is.
Look, I understand why you're protecting him, but it's in his best interest to end this hide and seek.
You can search the whole house if you want. Go ahead. He's not here.
Wait a minute. She's not the one who smells like that.
E cos'è allora?
That's where Bobby Yale's scent is coming from. So, that's why you were sitting there.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. Could you step aside so I can check, please?
Please go.
Mary, for Christ's sake, put that knife down, would you?
Leave or I'll...
Mary, I came here to help.
I mean it.
I don't want to hurt you.
Leave her alone!
Bobby!
Ho sbagliato tutto. Donna santa. Il problema è che vuole che io sia preciso.
I'm gonna kill you!
I give up, Bobby. Stop!
Real men don't give up.
Che gli hai preso?
Bobby!
Call an ambulance. Do as I say. Go on, call an ambulance. Do it now. In the face of a heart attack, there's two things you can't forget. One, stay calm. Two, one chest compression per second. 1 Mississippi. 2 Mississippi. 3 Mississippi. 4 Mississippi. 5 Mississippi. 6 Mississippi.
Bobby! Oh, Bobby!
Trofeo.
Thank you, Bobby. Bobby. Thank you.
I had lots of reasons to consider this a great day.
Io sto venendo menato dalla mattina alla sera.
I had investigated a suicide case. I had discovered that, in truth, we were dealing with a murder. I had found and captured the prime suspect. And I had saved a life. And yet, everything in me screamed that something was going wrong. Terribly wrong.
Sai che succede mo'?
Promise me you won't take the law into your own hands. I'd like to think we're not just vigilantes.
I want a gun!
What the hell?
Bang, bang, bang!
A fair amount of violence, extortion, and casualties.
I hate detectives.
Bang, bang, bang!
You're dead meat, cat.
That you, Smirnoff?
You seem agitated. Nightmare?
Yeah, I have a lot of those.
Yeah, that makes two of us. Anyway, why don't you go home? In his current condition, Yale's not going anywhere. Besides, we'll take it from here.
Who is that? Can we trust him?
I know how to pick my men, John. You? I'm not so sure. You promised me you wouldn't intervene.
If I hadn't intervened, Bobby Yale could be dead.
If you had warned me, maybe we could have avoided a heart attack. Anyway, what's done is done. When exactly did you realize that he killed Dunn? Out of sheer curiosity. I'm a cop after all.
To be honest, I'm not so sure Yale killed anyone.
How about the motive? Any ideas?
I know Dunn wanted to call the fight off after something Yale did, but I still don't know what.
In any case, hopefully Yale will tell us more.
Would you let me ask him some questions when he wakes up?
I know you will, with or without my permission, so I'd rather not feel betrayed. In exchange, drop by the station when you can. Your investigation could really help my men. Who, by the way, must be waiting for me to interrogate Mary Purnell. Boy, she was hard to pry from Yale's side.
She's been through a lot in the past days. Be nice to her.
Of course. In spite of it all, we're not just vigilantes. And as for you, go get some rest. God knows you need it.
You think sleeping will cure this?
Tell the nurses to look at that face of yours. You look like a film detective in his last scene.
I'm afraid this film isn't over yet.
For your sake. I hope you're wrong. You're in charge now,
Io
officer.
sono sicuro che tu puoi finire il gioco senza
I'll
venire
send you
mai
early for
menato.
6 hours. Understood?
Doctor,
Who are...
Oh, detective. Congratulations. You fared pretty well against that kid. Better than most would have. Now, if you'll excuse me.
do I look like I fared well to you?
Non mi piace questo qui.
We, as a society, simply don't trust reptiles. But that's not the real problem. The real problem is our extended belief that there's logic to that distrust, that it's natural and well-founded. How's Yale? Is he awake?
Oh, yeah. Go check on him before he falls asleep again. Although, try not to bother him with too many questions.
What's his current condition?
It's too soon to tell. He did have a heart attack, after all.
Dottor Palmer, ricordiamocelo. Deve essere importante.
Go away. I don't want to see you. The doctor told me to sleep.
I rarely get to interrogate a suspect with his guard down in a place as quiet as this. Getting the chance to study his body language with no distractions is a rare gift. He's looking straight at me. If he couldn't hold my stare, I'd think he's lying. But that's not the case. His heart rate is increasing. It could mean that he's lying, but it could also just be pure, unadulterated rage. He's clenching his fist, a sign of contained anger. Clenched fist, fast heart rate, fixed stare. He feels some genuine rage towards me. I'm sorry you don't want to see me, but I saved your life, son.
Maybe my aunt feels gratitude. I certainly don't. Luckily, I just got my medication. I'll be snoozing soon.
All right, I'll just cut to the chase. Is he lying, or did his heart rate speed up out of rage? Is he holding back his rage?
Ma è scemo? Ma mi sta facendo vedere le cose
He
che
can't
devo
look me in the eye. I'd say he's lying. Who killed Joe Dunn?
What? Are you trying to confuse me? Joe hanged himself.
I know Dunn threatened to call off the fight. Why?
How do you know that?
I'm a detective.
That was his anger talking. He never really meant it.
That doesn't matter. Why was he so mad at you? What did you do?
Nothing. Joe thought that I wasn't training hard enough. That I was going to lose.
Dunn was too short to hang himself with that rope.
So, it's true? He was murdered.
All right. Let's just say that I believe you. The murderer killed Dunn with a chest expander and planted evidence to make us believe it was suicide. But he also left enough clues behind to make sure we found the true murder weapon. Then he put the chest expander box in your locker to frame you. Do you know anyone that twisted and who also happens to have a motive?
I don't know.
What about Sonia Dunn?
Sonia? I doubt it. She's odd, but she's his daughter.
I've seen worse, believe me. Desmond O'Leary certainly seems twisted enough. Did he have anything against Dunn?
I'm not sure if they knew each other. At least not in person. About a month ago, Joe kicked one of O'Leary's men out of the gym. He was trying to give a business card to...
Jake Ostiami.
Yeah, exactly. Did Jake tell you about that?
Something like that. What about Frank Cassidy? Do you think he has a motive?
Maybe. A few weeks ago, Joe took me to a boxing managers association meeting.
Headed by Cassidy.
Yeah. He was obsessed with making it illegal for boxers to fight without a manager. Or without an associated manager. Everyone seemed to go along with it until Joe spoke up. He said that would lower us to mob status. That Cassidy had founded the association just to make money by monopolizing the sport. That made others think twice. And Cassidy ended up empty-handed.
Poor Cassidy.
Blacksad. I think I owe you an, You know, my father disappeared when I was 6, right after winning a fight. We never heard from him again. Do you know what that does to a kid? Who knows where I'd be if Joe Dunn hadn't been in my life. Even when I lost my way and put a gun to his head years later, he still took me under his wing and managed to steer me in the right direction. And now that he's gone, you're risking your life to find his murderer. Thanks.
I'm just doing...
Dai, mi hai rovinato la battuta.
Is that eye movement normal?
Ah, mi ha fatto sentire il battito del cuore.
The hands say a lot about what's going on inside a person. He seems restless. Should I tell someone? I need to take a look at his medical report.
See, there's no fever whatsoever. He must be having a nightmare.
Are you sure?
Wouldn't you have nightmares too, after what he went through yesterday? I know I sure wouldn't sleep.
I have nightmares myself, but those go way back.
Oh, the poor thing. Do you know what my nightmare is? It's that witch I have to work with. Oh. Good thing she's got trauma surgery at 12:30, but I wish it were a little sooner, you know? Anyway, thank you for letting me know. And for bringing him in. You don't know how excited I am to be involved in a criminal case.
It might not be important, but I need to take a look at his medical report. The number of cigarette butts is inversely proportional to my hours of sleep. Ah, damn.
Come la vedo la sua cartella clinica? Devo trovare il dottor Palmer?
Hi.
You're awake, handsome?
They ran several tests on Bobby Yale last night after admitting him. Have the results come in yet?
No, I don't think so, handsome.
I'll take a pack of Morley's, please.
Honey, get me a pack of Morleys for Mr. Handsome.
Ragazzo mio, devi smettere di fumare prima o poi.
I won't be able to read Yale's medical report if she's around. It seems like the Doe nurse will be assisting Dr. Talbot during his 12:30 surgery. In 4 hours. Could I get them to operate any sooner?
E come? Forse se gli dico che ho sentito dire che il dottor Talbot la sta chiamando. Che cazzo di figurine ci sono?
Jerry Highfill. Long time no see.
Blacksad, I didn't want to wake you. How's the boy?
Asleep.
I hope he recovers in time for the fight. I got tickets. Although between you and me, he doesn't stand a chance. It'll be a fun bout, nonetheless. Not like this. God, this is boring.
You want to smoke?
Don't smoke or drink. No vice for me. Smoking's dirty. Alcohol goes straight to your head. And women,
Madonna.
they're all just mean. Well, everyone except mine.
Are the odds against Yale that bad?
The boy's talented, don't get me wrong. But stone is stone, you know? I bet half my pay, but you know, no vice for me.
Are you sure about that? Not even one little vice?
Nope. Between you and me, when someone gives in to vice, it's because something's missing. Something in their life just isn't right. I've got a good wife, a good job, a good house, a good TV, and a good hobby. Sport. Well, watching them, that is. What else do I need, eh? Blacksad, vice is for losers. Man, I'm bored.
You say you've got a good job, and yet you're bored.
Well, it's just a figure of speech, really. I like my job. Is it boring? Yes, but I can entertain myself with a good fight or a football game. Well, watching them, that is.
Well, I'm going back in.
Quindi sapevo che potevo chiamare. Chiamo Weekly per vedere se ha qualche informazione. Bastardo, non risponde.
Dunn's Gym. Jake Ostiambe speaking.
Jake, it's Blacksad. I just wanted to...
I have work to do, John. Call you later. Ronald, get on that ring!
Bastardo. Passami i sogni, dovevo dire. Che palle.
Trauma? Sherry speaking.
Get Dr. Gregor Talbot, please.
Yes, 1 minute. No, actually, Dr. Talbot won't be in until 12:30 according to my registry. Can I ask who's calling, please?
E beh.
Sherry, this is Dr. Talbot. We have to reschedule the 12:30 procedure. I want everyone in the operating room in 5 minutes. If anyone gives you any grief, tell them it's a matter of life or death. Understood?
A matter of life and death. A matter of life and death. You gotta be kidding me. These people.
Best detective ever.
All right, now. How do I put this? I need something that you...
Oh. Only if you guess why I'm giving it to you.
I think you just want to spite your fellow nurse.
Well, aren't you smart? But be quick about it. You hear me, huh? If that witch comes back...
Vediamo un po'.
What? What does it say here?
Ah, you know doctors. The top handwriting is mine. Let's see. Extrasystole and dehydration caused by panic attack.
Extra what?
You know, arrhythmia, like skipped heartbeats.
What about this here?
It's a good thing I know that Mr. Yale is in Dr. Ferguson's hands. Otherwise, I'd be worried.
Appunto.
Hey, no means no, miss.
You really don't know who I am, do you?
Miss, I've got orders. And the fact is, those orders say that...
Here you are, Miss Dunn.
Huh?
Tell him, Blacksad. I can't get through that thick skull of his.
You see, Highfill... This is my assistant, Jerry.
Assistant? How so?
She's helping me with the investigation.
Between you and me, and all due respect, miss, but aren't we taking this woman's liberation a little too far? All right, go ahead. I guess it's her business after all.
Your assistant? You think I'd make a good detective?
Yeah, you're smart and brave. Two of our hallmark traits.
Wow. I think that's the first nice thing you've ever said to me. Anyway, you did your job. I'll send you a check the day after the fight. You can leave now.
No! No!
Why did you say that?
Ma che cazzo?
Anyway, you did your job. I'll send you a check the day after the fight. You can leave now.
Ah, non l'avevo vista per niente.
Huh, no. She's gonna do something stupid. Sonia, don't.
He killed my father. You said so yourself.
Your father wouldn't want you to do this. He was a just man, and this is not justice.
Look at your face! He did that, didn't he? How could he not be guilty?
No!
Cazzo! Non ho fatto in tempo a rispondere.
Why did you say that?
Questo why did you say that? Non lo
Sonia,
capisco.
don't.
He killed my father. You said so yourself.
No, I told you I thought he was innocent.
Look at your face. He did that, didn't he? How could he not be guilty?
You can't take justice into your own hands. Believe me, it will haunt you as long as you live.
Shut up. None of that matters. How could he not be guilty?
Since nothing else is working, it's time to bluff it. You know I emptied that gun when I found it in the safe. No.
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 Why did you say that?
È impossibile.
Sonia, don't.
He killed my father. You said so yourself.
You can't take justice into your own hands. Believe me, it will haunt you as long as you live.
Look at your face. He did that, didn't he? How could he not be guilty?
Your father wouldn't want you to do this. He was a just man, and this is not justice.
Shut up. None of that matters. How could he not be guilty?
Your father sacrificed everything to pay your way through college. If you do this, you'll destroy the future your father wanted you to have. Shh. It's okay.
Uncle Tim!
Sweetie, I came back from Los Angeles as soon as I could.
I told you not to rush back.
Come on now, honey. Aren't you going to introduce me to your friend?
No, this is John Blacksad, the detective who found Bobby.
Oh, so this is strictly professional. I thought you had some good news for your uncle.
No, Uncle Tim, don't be silly.
Don't be silly. Look at you. Smart, educated, as dazzling as the brightest of stars. Every single man in this city should be at your feet. Come on, we'd better let him rest.
Mi hanno dato qualcosa, il dottore era il Palmer, non era... Quando è che posso farla questa cosa? Quando è che posso dire non è il dottore con cui ho parlato?
I see. Let's say you're right and Bobby Yale is innocent. Who should we focus on now?
We?
Well, your father turned down my money, but he made me promise one thing, that I'd take care of you if anything happened to him.
But I can...
I know you're perfectly capable of managing that gym on your own, but we don't even know if he'll be ready to fight Stone. Besides, someone seems really invested in stopping that fight, and someone has to pay Mr. Blacksad to get to the bottom of all this. Please, talk some sense into her.
I don't need more money. Yeah, you hired me to find Yale, but in my mind, the case isn't closed.
And you have my deepest respect, but I'll pay you just the same.
All right. Thank you, Uncle. Thank you so much.
All right, stop crying or you'll ruin your makeup, honey. Now fix yourself up and I'll buy you some breakfast.
Wait, my purse.
I'll get it. It must be...
Blacksad, wait a minute. I think she needs some time alone, just like you and me. Listen, boy, do whatever it takes to find Joe's murder. Whatever it takes. If things get messy, don't worry. I'll clean them up. Deal?
I'm not a vigilante.
Well, suit yourself. Just get that ball to the end zone.
No. Are you telling stories about the great iron arm again?
Wait a minute. Of course, the Milestone's quarterback, Tim Iron Arm Thorpe.
It's a good thing folks usually recognize me sooner. Blacksad, you coming to breakfast?
I'd love to, but I have to go ask for a favor.
Allora, qualcuno lo dice che il rettile probabilmente non è... cioè, nel senso...
The investigation required that I ask Jake for a small favor. Or demand it, if worse came to worst. He's been training with those same shorts for who knows how long. I hope he never feels inclined to hit me. He's twice my size. Not the smartest cookie in the jar, nor the most tactful. But do I trust him? No. Do I consider him a friend? Yes.
Perché se parlo all'altro quello si becca un pugno.
How many hits does a boxer take to the head throughout his career? This one's got extra padding, just like Jake. Hey, hi.
Hey, focus, will you?
Adesso sto prendo uguale.
Hey, Jake.
Not now, John.
E che devo fare? Vabbè, intanto mi faccio il collegamento.
Huh. That lizard isn't Yale's doctor.
Lo sapevo.
All right, that's enough. Take 5. Go on. What, John? What's so important?
Could you tell me where Old Erie's headquarters are?
What for? No. You could get me into trouble. No way.
You lied to me yesterday. And being the good friend that I am, I kept your secret. You owe me. I don't think I'd keep protecting you if we weren't friends. Although, if we were friends, you wouldn't hesitate to help me. Tell me, Jake, are we friends or not?
Damned cat. All right. O'Leary's hideout is in the basement of a Chinese restaurant. But I don't even know how to get in.
Have you noticed anything strange about Sonia?
I don't know. Yesterday she said she hated the gym. But it also seemed like she wanted to save the place. Do you get any of this? I sure don't.
It might not have seemed that way, but she loved her dad. Believe me, I've got reasons to be certain. Why are you coaching that guy?
Oh, that's right. You don't know. Sonia asked me to run the gym. Well, at least the fun part. As soon as Bobby Yale's back on his feet, I'll turn him into a champ. I'll make him crush stone. Just you wait. What? Why are you looking at me like that?
Couldn't you just stop working for O'Leary?
Yeah, I guess I could.
Well, I'll see you tonight. See you there.
Ronald, the break's over.
After 30 hours of work and several beatings, every bone in my body ached for a bed.
Now it's my turn.
So I went home to recharge. Because the night ahead was bound to be promising.
Blacksad. Perché la Pantera Rosa? Mi è venuto in mente la soundtrack della Pantera Rosa. Comunque sì, per ora, per come è messo il gioco, a livello stilistico, a livello di narrazione e cose, penso
What
che
do you know
mi
about that
leggerò i
basement?
fumetti.
Well, let me think. Nothing?
Come on, Jake, for Christ's sake. Strain that little boxer brain. You must know something.
I've come to get O'Leary several times, but they always make me wait in the dining room. One day it was so late that the restaurant was closed. They made me call from a payphone in that alley over there to let them know I was here. A few minutes later, O'Leary came out the back door, that red one there.
All right. You stay by the payphone. Wait till I'm inside. If you see anyone, call the same number you did that one time. Let it ring twice and hang up. Got it?
Screw you!
A promising night indeed.
Ok, se arriva che cazzo faccio? Vediamo se c'è qualche figurina.
A bit too high to climb. If the basement I'm looking for were in that building.
Mica so scemo. Li conosco i giochi. Perché sono sicuro che tra tutti i trofei c'è completa la Wall of Fame. Madonna, sono messo malissimo di faccia, Mi hanno malmenato per tutto il gioco.
If I'm right, could it be an elevator shaft? How does this thing open?
Col bottoncino lì.
I'm guessing it lights up when they ring at the main door. Would he even notice if I got in? Does he need a shotgun to deal with suppliers? Something tells me he'd notice me no matter how stealthy I was. Maybe it leads to the basement.
Perché scendi così tanto? Mica mi devo allontanare così
No.
non so.
The plan will only work if O'Leary doesn't know I've been here.
E quindi che cazzo faccio, bro?
What happened? Should we run for it?
Do I look like I'm in a hurry? There's a guy watching TV inside the restaurant. A red panda, I think.
Doesn't ring a bell. I don't recall any panda waiters. Are you done?
What do you think? There's a trapdoor on the ground, right by the restaurant. Does that sound familiar?
Huh? The restaurant or the trapdoor?
Okay. Forget it.
What's taking you so long?
You want to switch places? Check out that graffiti. You're in On Leon Tong territory.
Wow. I thought the Tong Wars had ended years ago.
Maybe someone nostalgic just got bored.
Damn Chinese mafias.
Yeah, American mafias are infinitely better, no doubt. From the back door, I can see a hall that might lead to the basement. Does that sound familiar?
O'Leary sometimes comes from a hallway, but who knows if it's that one?
I need you to go to the front door and ring the bell.
All right, is there a bar in that alley? Have you been drinking?
Count to 30, ring the bell, then run for the car. Got it?
Whoa, you better send a bunch of Natalias my way after this. So, now what are you gonna do?
I'll open the door with my lockpicks. Once I'm in, I'm still not sure if I'll take the hall or the door on the right.
Siamo fottuti, andrà malissimo. Ci beccano sicuro.
The lock on that door was not your standard model. I had to give it my all.
Cos'era quello bug? Ok. Vabbè, ho scelto il basement perché lui è andato per il corridoio, quindi ero abbastanza sicuro. Porca puttana. Come trovo una fonte di luce prima che si scarichi l'accendino? Che cazzo significa? Pure questo mi hanno fatto. Questa è una fonte di luce, no? Ma questa è una fonte di luce, no? So scemo io? Niente, è andato. Cioè, per me questi bottoni erano fonti di luce, però secondo me...
Oh, no, not now! Some answers only come to you when it's far too late.
Secondo me si buggava se non mi dava il prompt, perché c'è... No. Ma sono stronzo io? Sì, ma tanto se non trovo la roba... Capito un cazzo. Scusami. A parte che voglio vedere il mio Blacksad. Caricamento di mezz'ora. Allora, sono al 95% romantico, non so quando è successo. Sono 100% loquace. Sono veloce. Sono astuto. Un po' pragmatico, un po' giusto, un po' risoluto, un po' cauto. Più sensibile che duro. Però romanticissimo per qualche motivo. Scusate, ma mi tocca un attimo per poter vedere. Trovato. Madonna, era invisibile per quanto mi riguarda. E io lì ci sono passato 17 volte. Ditemi di no.
Why do they have so many paper notes? Do they get that many orders? Huh. I was expecting some frozen bodies. It won't budge.
Beh, perché c'era il bottone nella stanza qui dietro. Quello che io pensavo fosse un interruttore della luce. Non vedo un cazzo.
what I call porty cat.
Allora, mi è sembrato di vedere un gatto. Immaginavo che non dovevo accendere la luce perché sennò si incazzava un uomo, però io così non vedo un cazzo. Più che altro che fine ha fatto l'interruttore che prima stava qui? Non c'è più. Oh.
I could have used it to get in here. Although, maybe it's an even better way out.
Ah, è l'ascensore, mi sa.
Huh. I was expecting some frozen bodies. It won't budge.
Madonna. Pesantissimo. Per questo che gli servono dei pugili come guardie del corpo.
The odds are incredibly in Stone's favor. I guess that he's the reigning champion, and Bobby Yale is just a contender, but maybe word got out about his condition. There's one on each table, except this one. Does O'Leary have a network of pals? Wow. I didn't realize you could place so many bets on a single baseball game.
Invece.
It looks like a summary of all the bets that come in. Day, amount, bet, wagerer. Wait a minute. Did O'Leary himself bet $5,000 on Yale? A little thingamajig that adds on its own. What'll they think of next? 16 days until the fight. Sometimes I forget that criminals, even the office variety, have family and kids. Anyway, maybe things aren't so bad on the dark side.
Hello from the dark side. Oh, È un po' una rottura interagire con certe cose.
Could that be Ireland? A Crossler? The good news is, I don't need lockpicks to open it. The bad news, I didn't bring explosives. Even Dunn had a gun in his office. O'Leary couldn't possibly be the exception. Dunn had $200 in his safe. O'Leary had about 20,000 in a drawer.
È molto... fa capire molto di come il mondo funziona. Ma per così poca luce, che cazzo di senso ha?
I'd say that's Ireland too.
Ma che cazzo vengono a fare in America se gli piace tanto l'Irlanda?
Ireland, of course. This guy's obsessed.
Oh. No, io voglio quella figurina. Perfetto. Che cazzo, quanto è difficile mirare alle cose.
If they're not together anymore, why does O'Leary keep so many pictures of romantic moments with Helen Moore?
Un'altra copia. Copia 2 di 3.
Limited edition copy 2 of 3. We listen, if you call it listening, to the sentimental
Concentro
romance.
sopra trovare
Your
tutti
eyes
tre.
act like the moon. The painting concealed file after file of celebrity reports with all sorts of shady information, ranging from S to Z. Almost all of them were athletes. Is that what O'Leary meant when he said that detectives and police officers were his friends? I wonder how many spy for him. If I were to pitch in, who would I spy on?
Torp, Timothy, non mi ricordo chi cazzo è.
In Bobby Yale's folder, all I found was a log of his incredible stats as an aspiring champion. 20 victories, 16 by knockout. Although, at the end of the report, someone had underlined one word several times. Untouchable.
Ok. Thor non mi ricordo chi cazzo è. Thor Timothy chi è che era?
Thorpe had been a rising football star before the war, which he came back from with honors and decorations. After the truce, he resumed his career. He won 3 season trophies and a couple of MVP awards. He retired after an accident that left him paralyzed from the waist down. He started his own sports advertising agency 4 years ago, but according to the files, O'Leary hadn't even tried to corrupt him.
Beh, resta solo... Porca puttana. Dicevo, resta solo Stone, che è l'avversario di coso. Non mi ricorderò mai il
According to
nome.
Stone's report, he was so clean, not to mention hard to corrupt, that O'Leary opted for a more subtle strategy. Apparently, when he broke up with the tennis player Helen Moore, he set her up with Stone. Lucky for him, they hit it off. As I put away the report, I stopped in my tracks.
Chi c'è?
Did I really want to risk knowing what O'Leary had on my good friend, the incorruptible police commissioner? To be honest, if Smirnov had anything to hide, I'd rather not know about it.
No, io volevo leggerlo invece, non ci sono riuscito in tempo. Vabbè. Quindi ogni singolo dipinto in realtà è un archivio. E la Madonna.
Helen Moore's file was, by far, one of the juiciest. She had been just a run-of-the-mill tennis player until O'Leary launched her career by rigging enough games to help her climb the ranking. However, O'Leary hadn't fixed any of her games in over a year. In spite of that, she remained undefeated. Be as it may, it was clear that O'Leary had enough information to ruin her career.
O'Leary ha abbastanza informazioni per rovinare la vita a chiunque, non è che...
Strange as it may seem, the reports revealed that O'Leary had hired Jake as a bodyguard precisely because he was absolutely clean. Apparently, he liked to surround himself with honest people when he mingled with the high society.
Buono, Jake è affidabile. Sì, ma le luci non si spengono di questi affari? Evidentemente no.
Luckily or not, files N through R included no one that I could somehow connect to the case.
Anche questo.
I hope I never become the object of O'Leary's obsession.
Vediamo un po'. Ah, c'era Dan. Vediamo se Veragnos, il padre di Coso, è scomparso perché lui ha voluto che scomparisse.
The report on Yale's father was the shortest of all, since only his name was left. Why?
No, volevo controllare Dan e niente. Mi cambia ogni volta l'ordine dei tasti rispetto a quello che mi ha fatto vedere l'ultima volta.
Cassidy's report was possibly the longest among all of O'Leary's files. Apparently, their rivalry went way back. So much so that they spied on each other in the most unthinkable ways. At least I was able to confirm what Yale had told me. Cassidy had threatened Dunn after he refused to join the managers' union. Dunn's integrity was legendary, even in O'Leary's shady reports, just like Yale had said. Dunn had kicked one of O'Leary's men out of the gym when he found him snooping around.
Beh, rimane la cassaforte, ma non la posso aprire. Allora.
I'd say
vuole
O'Leary has threatened
che
Stone with
Stomper
ruining Moore's
d'apposta.
career.
Lui vuole che Stomper d'apposta. Ed è questo che ha fatto. Che probabilmente lui. Cosa l'ha scoperto. È questo che ha fatto incazzare Dan. Forse. Forse non ho ancora abbastanza informazioni, eh. No, infatti non ho abbastanza informazioni. Ecco.
Jake. Someone was coming.
Are we or are we not exemplary workers, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Here it is, middle of the night.
E vabbè. Penso che questo sia il gioco con le scelte investigative in cui io sia morto più volte.
Jake. Someone was coming.
Are we or are we not exemplary workers, Jimmy? Here it is, middle of the night. And we're working extra hours.
Cazzo.
Hey, Jimmy, what do you think about that?
I think he's scared stiff, Desmond.
Why's that, Jimmy? We're giving you the red carpet treatment. We even let you in the boss's office.
You're one lucky fellow.
You can't say I don't treat you well, Jimmy.
Yeah. Speak, you moron.
Yeah, very well. Why are you...
Shh. Calm down. How long have you worked for me, Jimmy?
3 months. 3 months.
Oh, yeah. I hired you right after your cousin Martin died. I need your opinion. How would you punish someone for ruining an innocent man's life with a hit and run, Jimmy?
I don't know.
And tell me, what about you, Wilson? What would you do?
No, please. I didn't do anything. I swear.
Non posso.
He was a good guy. Of course, you already knew that. You knew him better than me, right?
He was my cousin.
That's why I hired you, Jimmy. You see, Martin was a dear friend. And his widow said you were a nice kid. That you do a good job and you needed the money. And I have a soft spot for those in need.
Please.
But, you know what? I talked to her just yesterday. She told us you did some naughty things to her with that gun, Jimmy.
No.
That's no way to treat a widow, is it? about the kid? Are you so sure you know how long a kid can hold his breath?
Bastardi.
With his little head inside a toilet bowl?
Son of a bitch.
I didn't want to. It was his idea.
Selfishly, I was glad I hadn't risked my life to save Jimmy. Maybe not even someone like him deserves to die. But one could also argue that I didn't deserve to die for someone like him.
Who's your boss? Give me a name!
Cassidy. It was his idea. He said you'd hired me if I'd managed to scare the widow, and I just...
All right. Let's just calm down now. Okay? It's gonna be okay. There are two sacred principles that rule my life. The first principle is the love for my family. I do anything to protect them. The second principle, I never put my future in the hands of fate. I always play it nice and safe. And I would even add a third principle, or better yet, a rule. If anything threatens either of these two crucial principles, I take matters into my own hands. You see where this is going? For the first time, I got someone killed. Even though all I really did was rat him out.
No, I just...
Stop interrupting me, Jimmy! It's not polite! We're all the same. So rude. You know what? Let's leave it at that. You're going to give a message to that disgusting walrus Cassidy, aren't you?
Yeah, sure. Whatever you say. Sure.
Good boy.
What's the message?
Oh, Jimmy. You still don't get it, do you? You are the message. Come on. Wrap him up. Make sure Cassidy gets the message for breakfast, will you? I hope he chugs on it.
Got it.
Where are you hiding, little fishy? Once again, you didn't get to hear the end of my story.
Non penso che sarei riuscito a salvarlo, sinceramente. Madonna. Niente. Ogni volta che posso morire, muoio. Sta faccia dai cazzo. Lo sapevo. Non importa che scelta faccio, è sempre sbagliata. In realtà è per far sentire questa musichetta ancora e ancora, questo motivetto, no?
What? Just where do you think you're going, putty cat?
Two sacred principles rule my life. The first is the love I feel for my family. The second, never leave destiny in the hands of fate. I always play it nice and safe. And I'd even add a third principle, or better yet, a rule. If anything threatens either of these two principles,
You take matters into your own hands.
Seriously, what just happened?
Voglio rifarlo di brutto. Scusa, Black.
Two sacred principles rule my life.
The
The
love
love I
you feel for
feel
your family.
for... What is going on today?
È bellissimo, però. Come fai a sapere
Two
tutte queste cose?
sacred
Perché
principles
vengo dal
rule my
futuro.
life. The first is the love I feel for my family. The second,
Vai sempre sul cesso.
never leave
sarebbe da
destiny in the
dirgli.
hands of fate. I always play it nice and safe. And I'd even add a third principle, or better yet, a rule. If anything threatens either of these two principles, I take matters into my own hands. The first time that someone died because of me, even though all I did was rat him out, well, that guy ended up in the Hudson River, right off Pier 27. He's got to be even wetter than that fish by now. You should have seen his face.
It's interesting what comes to mind when you think you're about to die. Suddenly, all I could think about was how much I wanted a pet fish.
You too, Bruce? Anyway, I was 14 years old, and I still dream about him, about his widow and his son.
By then, I was adamant about buying a fish. But first,
That was that. Never again.
Nowadays, whether it's me who pulls the trigger or not, I have zero regrets. What's more, I sort of enjoy it.
in case anyone had any doubts about who's the boss around here, I'll put my dirty feet on his luxurious table to prove that all of this is mine. The guy never hesitates to pull the trigger. Even if I hadn't seen what he did to Jimmy, I'd know he's not bluffing. His pupils are dilated, and there's a slight grin on his face. The bastard is
Lui è
enjoying
uno di quelli che è
himself.
uscito dalla... Ah, perché Dan ha minacciato di far chiudere l'incontro. Lui è uno di quelli
When a
che è
mob
uscito
boss
dalla
declares his
palestra.
love of family, it can only mean that A, he won't hesitate to ruin yours, and B, he's cheating on his wife. I knew I had it in me to get out of that place alive.
Forse finalmente posso... No, ok. Allora, O'Leary afferma di amare la sua famiglia. No, O'Leary minaccia di rovinare... No. Ah, per questo che è uno degli intoccabili. Hai capito. Ah, devo pure metterli in ordine. Ha fatto la spia su di lui. Cazzo, ho sbagliato di nuovo, sono scemo. Allora. Forse minaccia la carriera. Weekly ha fatto delle foto esplicite, può essere? No. Però questi si collegano. Allora, ha la coscienza sporca perché ha fatto la spia su Averanus. Io giuro che non so come mettere, qual è l'ordine, cosa devo metterci dopo. Non ho idea. Penso di aver quasi provato tutto. Ok.
No. O'Leary's wife is having an affair with Colbert? Should I serve this to O'Leary on a silver platter? Or threaten Colbert so he'll get me out of this mess?
And, well, that's it, I think.
Quindi non c'entra un cazzo con quello.
You know, Blacksad, I never made it this far. Congratulations. You're going in style.
I didn't want to interrupt you because I respect you and your word. Colbert told me to come here.
What? Me? No way.
You did what? Colbert? When?
Yeah, remember when I called you on the phone? Don't you remember that cocky drunk guy?
No.
He kept bragging about how he was banging another guy's wife.
Oh?
Oh yeah, weird times, huh?
Yeah, and you congratulated me for finding Yale and saving your life.
Several times.
Then I asked you if O'Leary would thank me somehow.
And I thought it was a very reasonable assumption.
And then you told me to come here to ask the boss himself.
Yeah, I think you deserve it. Right, Desmond?
Oh, Blacksad, Blacksad, Blacksad. Thank you. And sorry for jumping to conclusions. First, you get a random beating from my men. And now this. Although you have to admit I had my reasons to be suspicious, you ran away from Yale's apartment, didn't you? But as you well know, you can't trust anyone in this world. Take it. It's only fair.
I want to bet it all on the fight.
Ah, so you're a gambler after all. We listen, if you call it listening, to the sentimental romance.
Your eyes act like the moon.
Ah, a cultured man. Anyway, go ahead. Place your bet.
I bet it all on Yale.
Oh, Blacksad. Aren't these odd hours to pay me a visit? Your message was important, but certainly not urgent. It could have waited until tomorrow, don't you think?
Don't look at me. This was Colbert's idea.
Quella cosa sulla scommessa l'ho fatta molto a caso.
I wish I was a noir fiction writer. At this very moment, I could write a couple of pointed, ironic remarks for the narrator to recount what I just lived through.
Già.
The dark, crooked alleys of New York reminded me of the state of my own soul.
Avevo l'indizio della foto da tipo 3 ore.
Fall loomed over me with the... Fall struck me with the full force of my long-lost youth. Nah, not that. Fall descended over me with the full weight of a guilty conscience.
Questo chi cazzo è?
God, that's worse.
Te lo stai immaginando?
What were you thinking? He wants him alive!
I felt fall seep through my bones like the pain of a good beating.
Ah, è la mafia cinese.
Mediocre, but appropriate.
Forse, cioè penso sia la mafia cinese. Oh, c'è una tennista carina.
Against all odds, next morning I got up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And I had my kind, unknown assailants to thank. The beating had taken its toll, but for the first time in months, I had slept like a baby.
Signora, la devo interrogare. Su
Oh,
tutto.
come on, Helen, focus! All right, take 5. We'll work on that double backhand later.
È finto.
Well, Mr. Blackmore, what can I do for the FBI?
Che stronzo.
Cooperate with law enforcement. All you have to do is talk.
I like to speak through my actions, but still, could you be more specific?
Maybe if we could speak in private?
Alec!
Coming!
You've got 4 minutes, Mr. Blackmore, so... make them count.
They say you're currently involved with Al Stone, the boxer. Is that correct?
Wow. The FBI sure knows what it's doing. So, out of the 100 million Americans who know about that, who did you extort to get such highly confidential information?
Don't beat around the bush. We know why you're with him.
Oh, so you like his biceps too?
Desmond O'Leary asked you to seduce Stone. Why?
What? No, I met Al by chance at a party. A party hosted by Desmond O'Leary. No, that can't be. No one is that shrewd. Not even him. Damn, I hate that bastard.
We're aware of at least 6 rigged games during your first year as a professional player.
And?
You won all of them.
Are you trying to offend me? I give my all on the court. I can't be held accountable if my rivals don't do the same. Go interrogate them.
We know about you and Desmond O'Leary.
Wow, your sagacity never ceases to amaze me. Wait, I get it. They must wrap your FBI sandwiches in gossip magazines.
The thing is, well...
You see, I'd love to wipe out that part of my past, but whatever.
Do you have any regrets?
Ads pay more than trophies. Can you believe it? Being associated with such a shady character can only damage my reputation. Trust me, never get involved with a married man. Anyway, at least now I know why you mentioned the rigged games. I can't blame you, Mr. Blackmore. I understand why I seem suspect. Although I doubt the FBI would ever get this involved in a sporting scandal. What do you really have against O'Leary? And please don't say illegal gambling.
O'Leary is a murderer. Every criminal organization has blood on his hands. His is no exception. And we have proof. I'm serious, Miss Moore. America can't afford to let anyone shake its foundations like that. And America's sweetheart can't afford it either. Help us out. Talk to us.
And why should I, Mr. Blackmore? What do I stand to gain or lose?
The FBI always returns a favor.
Oh yeah? Are they gonna rig my games? This is actually quite simple.
One lucky gal.
You have a light, sir?
The pearly white teeth of someone who barely smokes. Am I making her nervous? Damn. I'm almost out of fluid.
Wanna know my trick? Go down to start, then up with it, and then down again. Don't worry, I'm not making any assumptions about your masculinity. Almost. Will I get to smoke today? Don't worry, I'm not making any assumptions about your masculinity. Thanks. I don't know what you want me to say. You're trying to frame O'Leary, perhaps rightfully so, but I think you're barking up the wrong tree. Believe me, if I had the slightest...
Come on, Helen. Time to work on your backhand. Let's go.
Do you smoke? Nice meeting you, Mr. Blackmore. Did you bring my water?
Incontro inutile al cazzo. Ma quali deduzioni? Deduzioni di sta ceppa di minchia.
America's sweetheart gave you her cigarette? Dear God, she has the hots for you! I can't believe you said good old Weekly to investigate that stupid walrus while you were hanging out with Helen Moore herself! So, what do you say, you and me, we change places next time, huh?
Your turn. Now tell me, what did you find out?
Ah, you're gonna love this. You ready? I've got news, but I happen to also have a
Blacksad.
Thank you so much, Mr. Blacksad.
Huh? Oh, Mrs. Colbert.
When you told me about my husband, I kicked him out. But this morning he came back with a bouquet of roses and asked me to forgive him. He said he had some kind of big scare yesterday and that he hasn't stopped thinking about me since. He wants to take me to Niagara Falls on a second honeymoon.
And?
I threw the roses in his face and I told him to shove Niagara Falls up his ass. You think I can forget what he's done just like that?
I don't want to get into anybody's business here, but what if your husband really is sorry?
Are you telling me to give him a second chance? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah. No. No, actually, I'd rather not say anything.
All right, but I'm gonna hold you accountable.
Vabbè.
That two-timing rhino betrays me, I'll scratch his eyes out and I'll smash his head in. And yours too.
Mi piace un sacco questa animazione.
But what just happened? Is there anything you didn't tell me?
Maybe. But now it's your turn. Tell me about Cassidy. Come on, spit it out.
I didn't find anything suggesting that Cassidy had anything to do with Dunn's murder, but...
That's quite the tale.
But I know Cassidy will be playing poker tonight with one Howard M. Farnham II, a Texas tycoon looking to get his claws on the boxing business. I also know that he and Cassidy have never met in person, and that Farnham, who's staying at the Balford Hotel, hasn't left his room.
Non ho capito come ce la giochiamo.
He spent the night with 3 bottles of bourbon. So, here's my incredible plan. I'll go to the hotel, I'd knock him out, and then take his place in the poker game. That way, I'll get Cassidy talking. What do you think? Incredible, right?
Didn't we agree that you would handle Helen more while I dealt with Cassidy next time? No?
Ti sei fregato da solo, Will. Well, come cazzo ti chiami? Weekly, mi sa. Salve, sono un uomo d'affari.
Good afternoon, Mr. Farnham.
What's going on?
Allow me to introduce myself. John Blackmore. I work for Frank Cassidy. He asked me to bring you these bottles so you could choose which one you prefer for the game.
Oh, sure. I was fixing to leave, but I guess them monuments ain't going anywhere. Well, come on in then.
Getting in Farnham's room was easy. Earning his trust was another story. But I always have an ace up my sleeve.
Blackmore? You okay, partner?
The best way to earn someone's trust is to make them believe they've earned yours. And sometimes, the best way to fake it is to tell the truth. I don't know where to begin. They killed my girlfriend. And no matter how hard I try, I just can't let go.
And those bastards paid for what they done to you, boy.
They paid.
Well, good. Honor's being restored, and sure enough, our good Lord will see to it that they burn in hell. You need to move on, partner. Plenty of lookers out there. Find yourself a charming lady friend, even if it costs you a pretty penny.
One of the tricks of this trade is to be wary of the biases we all have. They cloud our judgment and blur the person in front of us, painting them with the shades of our preconceived notions of who they should be. But every once in a while, you run into someone so locked in personality that they can only be regarded as a stereotype. Farnham was a disgrace, not only to himself, but to Texas and the entire human race. To think I had to impersonate him. I wish I was like you. You seem so content, so free of burdens.
Stop right there, partner. You think this old dog don't have ticks? Let me tell you something about my first wife. Woo-wee!
Once I had gained Farnham's trust, the hard part was deciding what I needed to know to become him and not get myself killed.
What can I do for you, sir?
Howdy. My name's Howard M. Farnham II.
Okay. Should I know you? What can I do for you, sir?
I'm here to play me some poker.
You got the wrong place, sir. Did you miss the barbershop sign above the door? You have a good evening, sir.
Wait,
c'era una parola d'ordine di cui non sapevamo? Mi sa.
The hard part was deciding what I needed to know to become him, and not get myself killed.
What can I do for you, sir?
Farnham was one hell of a drinker. I had to get the information out of him.
Ah, ok, vedi, è un flash, ok.
Before he drank himself unconscious. Otherwise,
prova a
I'd have to
ricordare me
find that
stesso.
information myself.
Ok. Adesso c'è un back and forth col passato, quindi. Ma pure qua le devo trovare le figurine.
Yes, I got a Vietnamese shave last time.
No, please, come in. Of course, I remember you. Take a seat.
Sì, ma gira. Vabbè.
I'm sure you'll understand we can't be too careful. Our host has many enemies, and someone has to keep them at bay.
Sure, I get it.
I'm glad to hear that. Now, please answer my question. How much does it cost to get yourself a clean Vietnamese shave?
Then, sure enough, Booth put the nail on the coffin of my first marriage. You know, the wife that caught me cheating with the maid. My second marriage, too. You know what I did to her daddy? Same old with several mistresses. So I decided to stick to my guns and only deal with hookers. Even if I did end up marrying some.
I feel you, Mr. Farnham. So I'm going to be honest with you. I'm Cassidy's slave. He lent me the money for a game deposit, and I lost it all. Now I have to work off my debt.
Oh, Cassidy's not your problem, son. It's poverty. Sure enough, I had to pay my own deposit this morning to y'all. And that was just petty cash to me.
Petty cash, to be honest. I asked you how much.
Of course, they gave me my receipts. These things I am, boy. Wait, I'll show you. I got it somewhere. Just a sec. I'll get it. I just put it over. I think I'll be right back.
Ding Dong? Interesting name for a town.
Non mi fa cambiare. Adesso muoio.
Not even a Bible. They smell like a party.
I told you, nothing more than petty cash. Never given a second thought to them small numbers.
And you never will.
Petty cash, to be honest.
I asked you how much.
Of course they gave me my receipts. These things I am, boy. Wait, I'll show you. I got it somewhere. Just a sec. I'll get it. I just put it over. I think he's. I'll be right back.
Io non so dove cazzo trovare ciò che sto cercando. That's the problem.
Why didn't you just say you had the receipt in your pocket? I'm almost certain, but tell me, who told you to come to this barber shop?
Let me tell you a little secret about my first wife, sonny boy. When I met that woman, she had no manners, no money, no nothing. Who in the hell? Farnham. My God, if it ain't the hero of the day.
This will surely imbue me with the Texan spirit. I probably don't need to imitate his gestures during the game, but it certainly wouldn't hurt to try. It's not going to be easy to sound Texan, but I'll give it my best shot. Nothing says Texan like a cowboy hat.
I'll be damned. Yes, sir. Sure enough, I'm fixing.
Tilfa.
Boxing at the Grand. I'll be damned. Nah, just a few bourbons, that's all.
Nothing says Texan like a cowboy.
Anyway, Kenny.
Non so.
Thanks for fixing the game with Cassidy. God bless you, brother. The craziest goddamn Texan in New York.
My good old friend Kenny, craziest goddamn Texan in New York.
You know how many Kennys there are in New York? Kenny who?
So besides when and where the game will be, the password, and the money Farnham dished out, what else do I need? Ding Dong? Interesting name for a town. Luckily, there was only one Kinney in Farnham's address book. Kinney Eeks, residing at...
Cornell Plaza, Manhattan. Stunning penthouse.
I'm not surprised. Mr. Eeks has excellent taste. Do you happen to know what he asked for the last time he was here?
Questo barbiere io lo ammazzo.
No matter how superficial someone may seem, there's always a way to win their heart.
Niente, adesso mi taglia la gola.
Don't tell me, Billy Bob. This here is my new friend Father. Am I right?
Sure enough, your barber was fixing to give me a shave.
You can get a good shave at another time. Billy Bob is always at our beck and call.
Of course.
Hey, come on. Let's get in there before they finish all the bourbon without us.
I haven't frisked him yet, sir.
I don't think that'll be necessary. Mr. Farnham here, he's an honest Texan. And I'm sure he'll hand over his weapon if we ask him to. Right?
Sure, but you better take good care of my girl.
It'll be my pleasure.
Ok. Ce l'avevo fatta. Scommetto che c'ho il trofeo per farlo tutto.
Welcome, gentlemen. Chips are on the table and guns are in the safe. Now, we got a lovely night of poker ahead of us full of smoking and bourbon. So let's get started. Take a seat, Mr. Farnham. Let me introduce you. To my right, wearing gray boxers and weighing in at 140 pounds, the owner of Pink Vice, the largest meat market in all of Manhattan.
In other words, a real son of a bitch. No offense to the women he exploits.
Our reigning champion, Oswald Quince.
A title I aim to keep, provided our new contender here doesn't interfere.
Well, I'll do what I can.
Now you got me worried. Never trust a humble player.
The truth is that our friend Farnham owns the largest and, I dare say, most entertaining establishment in Texas.
Really? So we're colleagues then?
Yeah, you wish, Quince. He owns a casino.
Damn.
And it's not even in Austin or Dallas. It's actually in a little town called, what was it? Darn it. I looked it up the other day. Had a funny ring to it. I hate it when this happens.
I thought they moved all Texan casinos to Vegas, where gambling is legal.
You mean Ding Dong, Texas?
Ding dong! That's it.
Who'd ever think of a name like that?
Well, casino or no casino, let's just hope he doesn't keep as many aces up his sleeve as the late Ventimiglia, huh?
Amen.
To my left, wearing brown boxers and weighing in at 396 pounds.
Frank, show some respect, huh?
The hospitality tycoon, Polly... no.
Tycoon? I just own a small bar with pool tables. Clients drink close to nothing and play even less, but certain business transactions just couldn't happen anywhere else.
Damn it, Paulie. Why don't I know your last name?
Because they took it away from me. You have no idea how good my ex-wife's lawyer is.
Women, they even take our damn names.
You're too much, Paulie.
When you're done sightseeing, why don't you drop by La Iguana for a game of pool, and I'll buy you a drink. But I have to warn you, my clientele isn't crazy about furry fellas such as yourself.
Thanks. I love me some pool.
Perfect. It'll be my pleasure.
You're looking to start your own pool business, Farnham? This guy here wants to start a boxing association in Texas. And guess who he's turning to for advice?
To be honest, several things got me worried. So I'd be much obliged for any counseling.
So, what worries you?
Rebel coaches like Joe Dunn.
Ah, I see you done your homework. That bastard wouldn't accept the most basic rules. For example, banning boxers from official competitions when the managers don't belong to my association. Hey, don't get me wrong, I'm sorry for his death. But if they ever find the murderer, I'd be glad to pay his lawyer fees. Billy, bring out the bourbon. We're drying up here. I'll deal. With a fresh deck, of course. We respect traditions in this establishment.
Poker is as boring as it is simple. All you need to do is read people's faces. And even the worst detective has that trick up his sleeve. The real issue is knowing what to play for when there's much more than just money at stake.
Damn it! What again?
How many games have you won, Farnham?
It looks like we got a serious contender. Hey, Quinn, you better start unbuckling that championship belt.
This ain't over yet. Mark my words. Farnham will be calling his wife before the night is over.
Ha! Oh, hey, by the way, did you guys hear about Kenny's wife? Pretty tragic, huh?
What happened?
Oh, plain bad luck. Hey, but Farnham, I'm sure you know more about it than I do.
Che palle. Anche durante la partita
Anyway,
fuori.
Kenny, thanks for fixing the game with Cassidy. God bless you, brother. Craziest goddamn Texan in New York. And the poor fella's already got enough on his hands now that his wife...
Tell me more about your first wife.
Oh, right. Where were we? Same difference. Another drink?
Ho sbagliato.
No, seriously, where were we? All right. We was fixing to have another drink. It's coming back to me now. We were talking about my wife, right? One of them. Same difference. Horse.
Damn! I don't like waiting. Kenny won't like it, but I'm not gonna sit here wondering. Billy, pass me the phone. Come on.
Sometimes you get the feeling that it's all gone wrong, that you've made a terrible mistake. Sorry, did I say sometimes? No, that only happens once in a lifetime.
Abbiamo 9 di vite, no?
Mark my words. Farnham will be calling his wife before the night is over.
Ha! Oh, hey. By the way, did you guys hear about Kenny's wife? Pretty tragic, huh?
What happened?
Oh, plain bad luck. Hey, but Farnham, I'm sure you know more about it than I do.
Anyway, Kenny, thanks for fixing the game with Cassidy. God bless you, brother.
Forse non devo dire niente, così lui continua a parlare.
Craziest goddamn Texan in New York. And the poor fella's already got enough on his hands now that his wife. Women just gotta have their vices. But she's in a rehab clinic now, hooked on tranquilizers and all that.
That's it, tranquilizers. Don't tell me women don't have their vices, too. Bring out the bourbon, Billy Bob. Come on. Give me the bourbon.
Maybe I spoke too soon when I said that poker is easy for a good detective. Let's just say it's relatively simple. There's always someone ready to surprise you, relatively speaking.
Well, I'll be damned. I don't believe this.
What happened, Farnham?
Beginner's luck doesn't last forever, and that's when the real champ comes in. I hope you're ready to lose it all, my friend.
Poor Farnham. Came looking to make big bucks in the city with his boxing, and he's gonna lose it all with poker.
I hope your counseling will make up for it.
Yeah, so how can I be of help?
Those there athletes hooking up with each other, like Al Stone and Helen Moore.
I see you subscribe to What's News. Yeah, my star boxer, the reigning champion. He's having an affair with America's sweetheart. Hey, I got nothing against those two idiots falling in love. Don't get me wrong, but it's taking a toll on his performance. I don't think he'll lose against Yale, but I'm starting to worry a bit. You happy now?
Sure thing. Although, there is something else.
Come on, spit it out. I want to play.
Homicidal boxers like Bobby Yale.
Ha! That's some piece of news, huh? Hey, I don't know if he did it, but the real problem is that the fight against my champ Stone might not even frickin' happen. The good news is that I've almost convinced the governor to let him out of prison on the day of the fight. Under police escort, that is. I bet you the audience gets a kick out of that. Come on, let's steal another hand before Quince accuses us of trying to break his winning streak.
Ain't gonna happen. Gentlemen, I suggest you never tell your sons about this game, unless you want to lose their respect.
Wait, you mean our sons actually respect us?
I hear you. There's no way to set boys straight these days. They don't even respond to a good old beating.
I dare say Texan boys do respond to a good beating.
Hey, careful, Quince. You're talking to a pro. So, Kenny told me you had quite a house full.
How many kids you got in that house full of yours?
Questa cosa qui è molto figa.
That son of a bitch was about to choke on his own vomit. If I'd been a communist, perhaps the vision of a millionaire choking on his own vomit would have made my day. Even so, I doubt I could have just stood there and watched him die. Unfortunately, I didn't break a sweat trying to save him.
Ho sbagliato. Fortunatamente non mi
How many
sono
kids you got in that
abbastanza.
house full of yours?
No, that son of a bitch was about to choke on his own vomit. If I'd been a communist, perhaps the vision of a millionaire choking on his own vomit would have made my day. Even so, I doubt I could have just stood there and watched him die. No, deserving or not, the man would live.
Six, well, that's something. I don't know how you deal with all of them.
All boys?
Does it have to be now?
Oh, never let Quince near one of your daughters.
Come on, Folly. Children are sacred. I won't lay a
Cassidy.
finger on them until they're 12. After that, well... let's just say...
Mi sa che stiamo
some
facendo
men
scoperte.
have needs that can only be met by a young girl that age. If you know
un
what I
pedofilo.
mean. Are you alright, Farnham?
That damn eagle represents the lowest scum of our society. There goes your winning streak, you sick bastard.
Sooner or later, the police are gonna bust your ass. Quince.
What the hell are you talking about?
I bet you're as bad at hiding those poor girls as you are at keeping that ace up your sleeve.
What? You lying piece of shit?
Quince?
Don't believe a word he's saying, Frank.
Don't you dare call me Frank. Billy Bob.
It's 500 more. Huh. For washing up.
It's a deal. And good call, Flan. I owe you one. Please, take that flying scumbag's tokens. And mine too, if you want them. I'm feeling generous. Hey, turns out the governor accepted my suggestion to let Bobby yell out of prison on the day of the fight. Hey, this is turning out to be the perfect night. If you decide to go ahead with your new venture, call me, Farnham.
Your behavior at last night's game was utterly insulting. Never contact me again or I'll put an end to your pathetic life. If our common acquaintance should ask you about your business endeavors, tell him that boxing is too violent for you. Signed, Frank Cassidy. My own tracks would be covered the following morning when Cassidy read this note from Farnham.
Dear Mr. Cassidy, though I'm grateful for your kind help, last night's game made me realize that boxing is just too violent for a peaceful Texan like myself. I have decided to invest elsewhere. Yours sincerely, Howard M. Farnham II. Damn Texans.
Abbiamo comunque ucciso una persona, però per come parlava, forse va tutto bene. Non pensavo gli sparasse, figa.
As for me, it was the first time in days that I had gone to bed without my daily beating.
Effettivamente.
A real shame. Nothing like a bruised body to help you to sleep like a baby. Maybe I should have given myself a beating. Blacksad.
Finally, I need you at the gym now, please.
Perché che è successo? E che è successo? Che è successo? Assolutamente, una volta finito il gioco sarò lieto di leggermi i fumetti.
It was like this when I got here.
Cazzo, che è successo?
When did you get here?
I've been calling you for over an hour.
Calm down. I'll take care of this.
E se invece non me ne occupassi? Ah, penso di voler staccare adesso. Oddio, ma è come se fosse un fumetto. Bellissimo, hanno fatto a mo' di fumetto. Figo figo. Voglio vedere la Hall of Fame, che per qualche motivo non posso vedere. Vabbè, noi penso che riprendiamo da qui domani. Perché sono un po' stanco. Ho anche le mie cose da vedere. Aspetta un attimo che controllo una cosa. Ok. Vabbè ragazzi, ci becchiamo domani. Posso vedere la Hall of Fame adesso oppure sì? Voglio vedere quanti ne abbiamo presi. come si fa? Così. Sono 100 in totale, ne abbiamo un paio. Ahimè, vabbè, a domani ragazzi. Qui su Game Legacy con Blacksad under the skin.